So to prime my eyes for my base, I'm going to be using the Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite Concealer. This is my little go-to for all my bases. I absolutely love this concealer. It's brilliant for cutting creases just because it kind of blocks out all the colour. It's brilliant for applying base. I just love it. So I'm going to go ahead and pop some of this on my lids. Now what I like to do with this is using a little concealer brush. This is the Unicorn Cosmetics concealer brush. I like to also carve out my brow shape, especially seeing as I've fluffed them up today. I just like to kind of get the shape a little bit more. So using the nice sharp edge of this brush, I'm just going to start popping my concealer along the line of my brow. Like so. Now with using an eyeshadow base or a concealer like I'm doing today, what I like to do as well is just go over the top and pat it down to make sure that it's all even, because the last thing you want to do is create an uneven base, and then the shadows that you put over the top, they also won't come out even. The pigment will kind of be all over the place. So I'm just dragging the excess from that down onto my lid, like so, and then I just like to kind of blend it out a little bit at the edges. I also like to go over the top and pat it in, just again to make sure that everything's even and nice. And I'm just going to bring it down my nose and blend that out. If, like me, you're not going to pop foundation on today, I like to just go with my finger as well and just buff that edge out a little bit. And I'm just going to pick up some more and start applying this all over my lid now. Sometimes I do like to just go in with the applicator and just pop some on there, like so, and then again just going in with my brush and just kind of patting and making sure it's all even all over the eye. I'm just going to go in with a small powder brush. This is just an Arbonne powder brush and some Rimmel Stay Matte powder, and I'm just going to set this base. So I'm just going to do my other eye now with the concealer. Again, just using that really sharp edge just to trace out the underneath of my brow. You don't have to carve out the shape of your brow. This is so hard to talk while I'm doing this. You don't have to trace out the shape of your brow. Sometimes I don't. You'll watch some of my lives where I don't carve out my brow. It's purely up to you what you would rather do and what sort of look you're going for. But as I said today, because I've been playing with this new product and I fluffed my brows up, I just feel like carving them out would probably be a little bit better for today's video. So I'm just carving that brow shape out. So now we're going to move on to eyeshadow. We're going to start this look. So the main palette for this eye look is an absolute staple in my makeup kit. I absolutely love this palette. It was probably one of the first bright coloured palettes that I actually purchased, and it's lived with me since, and I swear by it. You just get really big pans of colour. They're very matte, they're very pigmented, they blend well. Hell was that? So oh, it's my boyfriend sneezing, that's what it is. So the palette that I'm talking about is the Suva Beauty. This is the Cupcakes and Monsters palette. Absolute staple for anyone that likes colour, bold colour especially. It's really pigmented. It's just an absolute staple. And I don't think it cost me that much either. I can't remember exactly how much this palette costs. I've had it a while. But these are the colours inside. So you get a nice aqua teal, a yellow, sort of a fuchsia colour. You call that fuchsia? I don't know. A red, a blue, a green, a pink and a white. So today I'm going to be using the pink, the purple and the white out of this palette, and I'm going to be using one other colour from another palette. So I'm going to start off. I just need to find the brush that I'm after because my brushes are staying. So this is a Unicorn Cosmetics. It's just a little pencil blending brush. So I'm going to start off with this really nice purple in this palette here, and I'm going to use this to kind of map out the shape of the eye that I'm creating and just pack down the first colour. So I'm picking up quite a bit of this on my little pencil brush, And I'm going to say, starting on the crease, you just want to pack it right on. Get as much colour on there as possible. Now, when you're creating these vivid eye looks, you have to kind of layer up. So what I like to do is pack the colour, pack the next colour on, blend it out, and then pack more colour on, because when you blend, you will find that you lose some of the pigmentation of the eyeshadows when you're blending them out, so they don't look quite as nice and bold as when you first put them on, which is a shame, but you just go back in and layer them up. So I'm just kind of picking up as much as I can on my brush and just packing this colour on. Now this eye look is a rounded eye look, so I am kind of packing it in that rounded shape like so. So again, I'm just packing that nice purple on. And I am also going to pack it onto the outer corner, because if anyone saw the photos, this eye look was kind of half purple, half white on the inner corner. So I'm just packing it on there as well. And I'm just really packing those colours in. Now what I'm going to do is do the same thing on both eyes at the same time and then kind of work that way. So I'm going to go in and pack this on the other eye as well. So again, starting in the crease. And I'm just kind of using a stamping motion. I'm not being too perfect right now because again we're going to go in and blend. So I'm just making sure to get that shape. When you're doing a bold eye look like this as well, it's really important to make sure that you kind of get that shape from the off, rather than trying to put down colour and then create a shape. It's really hard to try and create a shape when you've already laid something down on the eye. So it's good to just go in and make that shape now, so then we've got something to follow as well. And again, just stamping it onto the outer corner too. Now another good thing I find about this palette is you don't get a lot of fallout. So for anyone that's ever worried about using colours and getting it all over their face, this palette I've never had fallout from, which is always a winner in my books, because no one likes to do their makeup and then have 5 different colours down their face. It's never fun. So that is another winner from this palette. So now I'm going to go in with a different little brush. This is just a Revolution blending brush. Again, it's quite a small one. It's quite dense and compact, but you can still blend with it. And I'm going to go in with this nice pink colour here. And I'm kind of going to stamp this on again as well to a degree, and then go in and blend afterwards. So I'm just packing this on top. So what you kind of want to do is overlap the colours slightly. Like so. And what I like to do as well is when I do a rounded eye look like this, I like to connect the top round to the bottom. So I do like to kind of go over the outer bit of my eye a little bit. So again, just stamping that pink on like so. You could also do this with another pencil brush like I just did with the purple. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just kind of stamping it on with this little blending brush right now. Like so. And again, the same with the other eye. Just stamping on that pink. Now this is quite a bold, out there kind of eye look, and it's probably not everyone's cup of tea, but I think sometimes, even if you're not going anywhere, it's nice to just sit and play with colours and just go out of your comfort zone a little bit. So now I'm going to go in with another little fluffy blending brush. I'm trying to find all my blending brushes here. Bloody hell, made a mess here. So this is just a Morphe M433 brush. It's just a nice little fluffy blending brush. And I'm just going to go in now and start, first of all, by just softening those edges a little bit with the pink. Like so. Just using small little blending motions. And again on the other side. Again, just using small little blending motions. Just kind of fluffing out that pink. Just securing my one eyebrow. Making sure they're lying flat and staying fluffy. So again, I'm just blending that out in small circles. And now I'm going to go back and start blending that purple in too. Now what I sometimes like to do as well when I'm blending is go back in with that pink on this blending brush, but rather than packing it, now I'm just blending with it. And it kind of helps solidify that colour in a little bit more. Keeps it looking nice and bright. And as you can see, you will start to lose the purple a little bit in there. But this is fine. This is what I was talking about earlier, when you start blending, you'll lose the colour a little bit. The same with the other eye. Just going to go in with that pink. And just blending that out a little bit. And now I'm going to go in with the same blending brush and add some of that purple on my brush. And go in and blend that in also. But because we've laid down that shape, it's now easy to blend and keep that shape intact while we're blending, rather than trying to blend it into a shape. The shape is already there. Hope it's kind of picking up on camera. It's so neon here, and then when I look in the camera it kind of washes away and you can't see the colours so nice. It's really frustrating. That is the only thing about lives. It never quite picks up the colours how I'd like it to. The same with the other eye, just going in with that purple and just blending those purples out. So that purple, we're trying to keep it kind of right in that crease area. Like so. And just keeping that nice shape. So the idea of the purple isn't to like overpower the pink. I wanted to try and keep this as much of a pink eye look as possible. But it's just to give the eye a little bit of depth and a little bit of shape to it, rather than just being one flat colour. It's sometimes nice to add a bit of definition. So I'm just going to go back in with that packing brush again that we had originally and just pack some more of that purple onto that outer corner, because we want that to be really, really bright and bold. And then I'm just kind of patting it again into that inner crease a little bit too, just to deepen the colour a little bit, like so. And the same on the other eye, just packing that purple back on. So like I said, a lot of this is about layering. It's about going back in after you've blended and adding a little bit more colour. Like so. And then again, I'm just patting it into that crease again. I feel like my lighting's terrible as well today because the weather outside is naff. My lighting always looks good when the weather outside is better, because I sit in front of a ring light, but I've also got the conservatory in front of me, and I feel like when the weather's better outside it just makes it look brighter and a lot nicer, whereas when it's miserable outside like it is today, I just feel like it makes everything look a little bit gloomy. And now I'm going to go back in again with that other little blending brush and the pink, and just packing on some of that pink again. But I'm not going to take it as high as what we've blended it. I just want to pack it on just so it packs a bit more of a punch again, because you kind of lose it a little bit in the blending stage. So I'm just dotting it right on where we've blended that pink and purple together. And then just to kind of finish that pink off nicely, I'm just picking a little bit out of the Jeffree Star Conspiracy palette. I'm taking shades It's called Pigment, and it's like this really nice salmony pink. I've just put my finger in about 5 colours there. Oh, Chels. So I'm just taking that really, really nice kind of salmony pink colour on my little blending brush. You really, really don't need a lot out of these Jeffree Star palettes because they're so pigmented. So I'm just taking a really small amount. You can barely see it on the brush. And I'm just buffing that into that pink on the end, just to kind of soften it a little bit, just really, really lightly. And it kind of helps it blend out into nothing, which is what we want. And again, just on the inner corner as well, just taking a little bit of that pink from the Jeffree Star palette and just buffing it into that inner corner. And like I said at the beginning, this is quite an out there sort of eye look, and it's definitely not for everyone, but it's really, really good to play with colour. I enjoy playing with colour. And the same the other side. I'm just going to really, really lightly take this pink into the inner and outer corner, just to soften up so it's not quite so harsh. Really, really lightly just blending that out, like so. I'm going to take shade Ranch. It's this really nice white shimmery colour. And I'm going to use a really, really little bit of this just right there on the brow bone. Now it will, to start with, look really harsh, but I am going to blend it in slightly. And I just like to take that right down to the edge of my brow, kind of into nothingness. And I'm also going to take a smidge of it just in that inner corner too. Like so. And then I'm just going to go in with a clean blending brush like this one. This is a ruby one. I'm just going to blend that highlighter in. Really now we're going to get into cutting the crease. So I'm going to use my little concealer brush that I did to put my base on with. And I'm going to use the same concealer. This is the Revolution Concealer and Define Infinite. So I'm just going to start cutting my crease. This is a really, really good brush for doing cut creases with. I actually haven't found a brush that's better yet. This is the Unicorn Cosmetics brush. I think if you buy their eye set, you get it as part of their eye set. Fortunately, they don't have individual brush names. I'm sure it's just their concealer brush. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this concealer. And I'm just going to start tracing out the shape that I want on my lid. Now, when you do a cut crease, ideally what you want to do is take that crease line slightly higher than your natural crease, so that when your eyes open you can still see the cut crease. If you only take it as high as your crease, when you open your eye you're not going to see that defined cut. So I'm just using the edge of my brush and just creating that crease. Now even I have to concentrate for these, so I apologise if I'm a little bit quiet. So what I like to do is kind of create a bit of a cut crease and then go back in and alter it as I want to. Now what I am also going to do now as well, just to make this white kind of sit a little bit better and make sure that it's definitely 100% not going to go patchy, I like to lay down, when I do any white looks, a white cream first. So this is the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. You've all seen me use this 1,000 times in my waterline. The best white eyeliner I could ever recommend to you. So I'm also going to use this as a bit of a base for my cut crease as well. So I'm just going to go in, and it's not too precise. I'm just kind of laying this down on top. You do have to kind of warm it up a little bit as well. This is just to make sure that this white base doesn't go patchy. You don't have to do it all the way up to the cut crease. I don't. I just want to get a good solid base for this white. You'll find as well that it doesn't go perfectly white, and that's just because you've put concealer and powder down, so don't worry if it doesn't. Like so. And then I'm just going to go in with the white from that Suva Beauty palette. This one here. And using another little flat brush, this is the Revolution one, start packing this over the top. And you'll find that your white goes white. I actually learned this trick with the cream eyeshadow from the first time that I actually did this look. The first time I ever did this, I tried to just go in straight away with the white shadow, and it just went horribly patchy and nasty and just did not look nice at all. And no matter what I tried to do, it just didn't seem to want to go smooth. So adding the white pencil underneath definitely helps. I don't know if anyone else has ever experienced that with white eyeshadows, where they just don't want to play ball. They just don't do as they're told. So with whites as well, I like to just keep packing them on till you get that really, really, really nice white colour that you're after. Like so. You can always go in again as well with that cream pencil if there's little areas that you find just aren't taking the best. I'm just warming it up a little bit. You can always go back in and add a bit of that cream. Like I am doing there. And then just go in again with that white shadow and just pack it in over the top again. Like so. And then I'm kind of overlapping that purple and that white a little bit. And the same on the other side, so I'm just going to grab that little white pencil again and just start going over that cut crease that we've done. So I'm just going to go in with some eyeliner. This is the NYX Epic Ink Liner. And I'm going to do kind of an eyeliner where it's thicker at the outer edge and then comes in thinner. So just starting at that outer edge. And just do a nice smooth line. Right till it's a thin point at that inner corner. And what I like about this eyeliner as well is it's free flowing ink, so it never dries up. And it's just really, really nice and smooth. It's good for going smooth lines with. Apart from if you're me today and you can't get a smooth line. Like so. And the same the other side. Just going to go from thick to thin. And again, thinner at that inner corner. And then slowly getting thicker at the outer edge. And then making sure to fill in right up to my lash line as well. Just so there's no big gaps. Right. Now what I am going to do is taking a really, really small little brush. Wherever it may not have gone, I really need to sort this out. And just taking some black eyeshadow. So I'm going to take the black from the Conspiracy palette that we used. And just use this on the outer edge where that liner is. So I'm just using a really little Unicorn Cosmetics brush. And I'm just going to pat this into the outer corner. The idea is to kind of fade that eyeliner away. Like so. The same the other side. Just packing that black on with that little brush. Like so. So now I'm going to do the under eyes. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of concealer just under my eyes, just so I can get a good base for the under eye look. So just going to do a few little blobs of concealer. And just blend this out with my beauty blender. That's horrible because I need to get a new one. So now I'm going to go in and do the under eyes. So to begin with, I'm going to line my waterline with the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. So I'm just going to go ahead and line my waterline with that. Right up until the inner corner. Again, like I said, this is the best white eyeliner I can recommend. It literally stays on all day. It's amazing. Like so. So now I'm going to go in with that purple again and that little packing brush. This was the purple from the Suva palette. And again, I'm going to start packing this right close to my lash line. The idea with this is to use the same colours as what we did on the crease, so that it all kind of melts together. So again, just packing that purple on. The same on the other eye. Oh my gosh, it must be really raining badly outside. Again, just packing that colour on and just kind of using a patting motion. And then I'm going to go in again with that little blending brush that we used to pack the pink on with. I've just ruined my jeans with my concealer brush. Today is a good day. Again, just taking that pink from that Suva palette and start packing that on too. And the idea is we're kind of melting that top bit to the underneath bit. Same the other side. Just packing that pink on. Again, I'm still using a kind of patting motion with it as well. And then last but not least, going back into the Jeffree Star Conspiracy palette and taking that lovely salmony pink, that pigment colour, this one here. I'm just going to buff the last little bits of this right into the edges, just to blend it in with that top half. Like so. This looks so weird without any eyelashes on right now. What is my life? Again, the same this side, taking some of that pink, that pigment, and just blending it into the top half. I'm just going to take some excess off my brush I'm just going to go in and buff these edges slightly. Like so. And then what I also like to do is just take in a really, really little angled brush. I'm going to take a little bit of that black and just pat it in that outer corner from the black that we did on top, and just pat it a little bit underneath. Like so. And the same the other side. From that black that we did on the top and just patting it underneath. Just it kind of blends away a little bit. And I just like to go in with that really, really little blending brush that we used for the black. Wherever that may or may not have gone now. What is going on with my life today? I can't find anything that I want. I'm literally, that's it, I'm handing my notice in, guys. I'm giving up. No, I'm joking. Where the hell has that little blending brush gone? What is my life today? I can't even see it. I haven't put it back in the pot, have I? No, I haven't. Okay then, we don't know where that one is, so soddy. I'm just going to go in with another little blending brush. This one here, this is another Unicorn Cosmetics one. And I'm just going to kind of buff out that black a little bit. Just a smidge, not so we completely get rid of it, but just to soften it a little bit. Like so. So now I'm going to go in with my little highlighter brush again, and that really nice white pigment ranch here. I'm going to pop a really nice little bit of this right in the inner corner here. And the same the other side. And now for some lashes. So the lashes I'm going to use today, these are the Tatty Lashes Mitchell lashes. So these are TL Mitchell. They're really, really nice and thick and full and voluminous. And if I remember right, I was meant to trim one and I never did. So this is going to go really well. So I'm going to use these with my Euler Lash Fix glue. So I'm just going to take some of my Lash Fix and run that along the lash band. And then kind of wiggle them about a little bit to get the lash band flexible. And then tilting my head back and just pop these straight onto the lash line. Yes, and if I remember right, it was this eye that I was meant to trim and I never did. So that helps 1,000 times. So if anyone saw my photo, I had a little heart on my face, which is what I'm going to do now. So this is just the Rimmel Ink Me stamp tattoo in the heart one. So I'm just going to line the stamp up where I want it, go in, and voila, you have a heart on your face. So now just to finish off, the last final little touch, mascara. So I'm just going to pop some on my bottom lashes to begin with. And just get a really good coating, because I find that with looks like this, if you can't get your eyelashes to stand out, it just you kind of lose your actual eyes against all the colour. So I like to get a really good coating on my lashes, and this is why I like to wear quite voluminous lashes with a look like this, because otherwise you kind of just lose your eye in the whole block of colour. Like so. The same on the other eye. Zigzagging that mascara into my lashes just to get a really, really good coat. Like so. And then what I like to do, just to kind of meld my false ones with my real ones, is if you brush your false lashes with mascara, they'll kind of go clumpy and lose all that nice fluffiness that we can see going on here. So what I like to do is just using literally the width of the brush, is just push it right against the root of my natural lashes without touching the rest of the body of the false ones, and it just helps melt them together a little bit. Same on the other eye, I'm just patting my natural lashes against the false ones. Same in the inner corner. Like so. So that is what it looks like in front of a ring light. So again, it's a very kind of out there look. It's not for the faint-hearted. So anyone that likes the brushed up brow look like this was a new product that I literally used today. It's called Pink Honey and it is their Raspberry Flex Hold Honey Glue. It is shocking pink and smells just like raspberry sherbet. So if you're like me and you kind of like the brushed up brow look but you don't want to get them permanently laminated, it's a brilliant kind of temporary fix for when you want that look. And I think actually, now that I've got my eye makeup on, I actually really do like the brushed up brow look, and I wasn't sold on it before, so I am actually quite sold on it.